and welcome to this special episode of It's a Fandom Thing. I do have my panelists here if you're watching right now live. I'm just going to introduce them and thank you to Carla for making that intro. As you can hear, I still have a cold, so I apologize. I was hoping I wouldn't have a cold for this because this is our special 200th episode and it's a big deal. And I'm bummed that I have a cold, but we'll get through this. I will get through this. It'll be fine. So I'm going to bring on my panelists. This is how I'm going to do it. Introduce everybody, and then they can tell me one thing they're into right now. So first, I'm going to welcome to the stage. I'm calling it the stage now. Carla.
The crowd goes wild in my head. Hi, Bex.
Hi, Bex. Thank you. Yes. So, Carla, what are you into right now?
I am into obsessing over Yellow Jackets. You've been recommending this show up and down and left and right for I don't know how many weeks, and I finally decided, okay, I'm going to try this, and was immediately just completely sold on it. And I can't stop thinking about it and theorizing and wondering what's going to happen in the second season. And I'm just like, oh, so many thoughts.
Yay. It makes me so happy. When Carla DM'd me and said she was watching it, I was so happy because, as everybody knows, I think that is the best show on television right now, especially if you are looking for a story with complex women who are not just simple and have a lot of complexities.
If you want a story about complex women who are complex, and they're also not simple, in fact, they are complex.
And they have lots of complexities. Hi, Sasha. Thank
Hey, Sasha.
you. Hi. And now your partner in crime, Meg. Welcome, Meg, to the stage.
Speaking of simple women.
That's what I should have said. So Meg, what are you into right now?
I actually started watching Insecure, and I am like halfway. I think I started. Was it Thursday, Carla, or Wednesday? Wednesday or Thursday, and I'm halfway through season 3. So I hate it, obviously. But Carla's been getting all these messages from me, just completely random words, like Daniel. ...
This is like our classic interactions where she'll send me something out of nowhere with no context, and it's up to me to find the clues and figure out what the mystery
you always do.
thing is. I do now after knowing you all these years.
And I like that you complained to your real life spouse, and he was like, you do the same thing to me.
Yes, but it's okay when I do it.
Same.
Well, awesome. And we did just release an episode covering Insecure. I mean, you can't listen to it
do
yet,
know that. That's why I started watching it, because I heard it was a really, really great discussion.
It was. It's a long one. I'm gonna give it, but it's a great.
No way, Carla's on there. It's
Last night we recorded our Prince episode, and it was an hour and a half long. I will have you know.
See, that's because you're not feeling
enjoy
well.
the miracle.
Don't forget our advertisement. If you're not feeling good or can't talk too much, Carla and I are here for you to.
We will talk for you.
Yes, yeah. I know. And now I'm going to welcome to the stage Paula.
Hey!
Yay! I should have said Paula, not Paula Abdul. Don't get too excited. But
right.
Paula, just to get this excited.
Yeah, I get confused with her a lot. I mean,
I can totally see that.
Right?
Paula, how was it when you were married to Emilio? Says, "Oh wait, wrong Paula. I'm sorry."
Wrong one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that Paula was married to Carla's fantasy boyfriend, Emilio. So, Paula, what are you into?
I have been listening to this podcast called Haunted Road. It's sorry, my brain just went whoop. It's hosted by Amy Bruni. She used to be on Ghost Hunters, and she has a new show, I think, called Kindred Spirits. I'm not sure where you can find that, but she goes around to different haunted places. And the thing I really like about it is the first part of the podcast, she gives a really in-depth history of the place. And then she talks to somebody that either works at that place or is kind of an expert on it. And they talk about the ghosts and the hauntings and such of that place. But it's not just about that, it's also about the history. She's really focused on getting the history right about these places, and it's really fascinating.
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't heard it. I'll have to add that to
That
my.
sounds so cool.
It's a good
Like,
one.
I don't believe in ghosts, but the history part, but I love paranormal stuff. So
Right. Yeah, same.
I
Same.
look like a hot dog.
I just found it like last week and I've already listened to all the episodes.
Yeah. I do believe in the paranormal because I've had my own experiences. So I do believe. I do believe. I had the song actually from
I want to
I
believe.
still yeah. Well, I still believe. That's the song. I have the song from Lost Boys stuck in my head now. Okay, so I don't know if Paula saw the tweet I shared, but before I go on my rant, so I finally watched Nightmare Alley, which I have been wanting to see this. This is like next to Licorice Pizza, which I still haven't seen Licorice Pizza because I'm not comfortable going to theaters again. Was my second most anticipated. And this is, if you don't know, this is Guillermo del Toro's new movie. There's actually, yes, a sweaty sax player. That's correct. Carla's favorite, Sasha. Whoa, Carla just got really serious looking there. Wow. But anyway, it's actually a remake and it's also based on a novel, but it is set in 1941 and it starts a little bit earlier than that and it revolves around Bradley Cooper's character who who he doesn't speak for like the first 10 minutes of the movie. He doesn't say anything, but he joins a carnival and he becomes like speaking of like paranormal and stuff, he becomes like a mind seer is what they call it, but it's really not that. It's like a whole scam thing. It's very noir and then it kind of goes down this whole twisty little path. And it's really, really good. It's on both Hulu and HBO Max. So you have two places you could stream it. And I highly recommend it. And I want to thank Guillermo del Toro for remembering that we like to see naked men in this world. And thank you, Bradley, for deciding you were okay being a naked man. And I'm talking naked here, okay? So
Not that kind of complex naked.
Simple naked.
Simple
naked. I
naked.
get it.
Simple nudity.
There's no need for complex nudity here.
There's no shadows here. No perfectly
Mel.
placed plants. Hello,
Yeah,
ma'am.
no, perfect. Yes, no, it was just here I am, naked, and I went, thank you. But my rant is okay. Tried to prepare everybody for this. I tweeted the fact that, and yes, I know, wow, Bradley Cooper, he's a rich white straight man, whatever, but still, he is so dang good at this movie, and he's basically in practically every second of this film. And he is amazing and there's no talk of him getting like an Oscar nom for this movie, and that is such bullshit. So I am here to just say that I am very pissed on behalf of you, Bradley, because you were amazing. I am a huge Bradley Cooper fan. If you don't know this already, I became a Bradley Cooper fan from Silver Linings Playbook. And then, as I've told you all before, you're very, very lucky you weren't around, that this podcast wasn't around during the Stars Board time, because then I was a humongoid Bradley Cooper fan. So the fact that he is not going to be nominated is so heartbreaking to me because he's so dang good, especially the final, like what he does in the final scene of this movie is really just amazing. It's not my favorite Bradley Cooper performance, but it still deserves to sorry.
I'm listening
Dang it.
very seriously to
Dang
this
it.
complex
Sorry.
discussion.
But anyway,
Very
sorry,
serious.
something just distracted me there. But but anyway, I am very upset on your behalf. But Bradley, I just want to say, because I'm sure you listened to this because you were in a film with our unofficial mascot, Christian Fucky Bale. And I know that he was telling all his friends to listen to the podcast when we were celebrating him last month. So I know that you've probably listened to this podcast, so you probably will continue to. So I just want to let you know, if you get nominated, if you happen to get nominated, call me. I will gladly be your date. You can also email the show at it's a random thing pod
Say,
at
don't
gmail.com.
let Finn or Christian hear this.
Hey, they're both happily married, so hey.
So, and feel better, Mal. Take care of yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. But yeah, so it's fine if you have to leave. But thank you. Yes. So, sorry. Bex's favorite Bradley Cooper role is Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, I do like him in that. My favorite is always going to be probably Silver Linings Playbook, followed very closely by A Star is Born. So anyway, but remember, Bradley, hit me up if you need a date to the Oscars. I know you'd be very, very nice. There's a little thing there. Anyway, sorry everyone. I am still sick, so my brain is on another planet. But this is going to be a very relaxed, laid back, short episode. Well, it's going to have to be. So basically what we're going to do, and please feel free to write it in the comments too. But we're going to first talk about our favorite episodes that you were on. I get to say whatever I want to because I'm on all of them. So Carla, what are 3 of your favorite episodes that you were on?
I like how you phrased that very precisely. Just to make sure that I definitely got it. If I didn't read the outline, Carla,
I'm trying to be concise.
It's 3. 3. All right. So, my 3, I'm going to start with a George Michael one because I love George Michael so much. I love talking about his music, and it's one of those things where you don't even realize how big a fan you are of somebody until you start going into all of their work. I mean, like, oh yeah, I love that. Oh my God, I love that too. I love all of these things. Oh yeah, I guess I'm a big fan of this person. And it was fun recording with Jesse from Sudden but Inevitable as well, and his George Michael getup, very authentic. It was just a lot of fun, and I really I enjoyed that discussion. Another one that I loved was the 91 Whiskey live stream that we did. But yeah, Meg's shaking her head because like, oh, it's one of mine. Well, I loved being able to discuss a fanfic and just gush about it, all the things that we loved about it. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite ships of all time. And the thing with fanfic is that because it is often so kind of put down as a writing genre, it kind of feels isolating sometimes. So it's nice to be able to talk about it in a forum that is welcoming to that kind of reader. And then my third one is, I mean, I could just say basically the entire Christian effing Bale month because that was amazing. But if I have to narrow it down to one, it's going to be The Machinist, because I love that movie. I forgot how much I love that movie. I forgot that I had watched that movie, which was like, huh. Oh, no, that was A Fighter that I had forgotten that I watched. No. No, but I loved being able to talk about this movie that is so underappreciated and his amazing performance in it. And Christian Bale, I'm sure, listened to that and appreciated all of our gushing about it. I just know out there, he's like, oh, I love Erin and Carla and all the wonderful things they said about me and The Machinist and all of my work that went into that role. Yeah, that was 100% in his head.
The Machinist.
The Mechanist. Yes, yes. And Mal can't wait for the 4-letter word for intercourse ep. And I forgot that that was the full title. And when I first read your comment, Mal, I'm like, what? Like, what are we talking about? So yes, that's only for Patreon subscribers, by the way. So if you want to listen to that when we record it later this year, you have to become a Patreon subscriber. So, Meg, what are your 3 you specifically were on?
Well, I'm just gonna, that is one of my 3. Just toss in 91 Whiskey Discussion was awesome too. Piggybacking off of Carla, that was on my list, and for the same reasons. Like, it was really great to talk about fan fiction with the credit it deserves, because it's awesome. So my 3 of the 200 that I was on, one of them was Fandom Confessions.
200 you were on.
Yeah, I was on all of them in spirit. Of the 200, my favorites of the 3 I were are fuck. A Simple Woman. Tis I. Anyway, Fandom Confessions was one of my favorites that I was on. Just because I really love the hot takes, and even if I loved when people didn't agree with each other, but we were all like, "That's fine, that's cool," and like secretly stewed in our righteous indignation. No, really, it was so fun. Felicity was fun. The great Banol love story that the world has been missing.
The ship that nobody knew that they needed in their life.
No one knew. And I love that we were getting in there and prepared. All of us are like getting on there and prepared to fight.
And then it turned out to be like a love fest.
Yeah.
And the combative side of me died inside a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, we got there a little, kind of, but it was not. Aaron was like, I was so prepared to fight.
I was so bummed. I was so prepared to be like, oh, I'm right, which I was, but still.
Inconclusive.
Disagree to agree.
And my third one is the true crimes. I just love talking about true crime. I love watching it. I love listening to it. All of it. And that was just really, really fun. I got a lot of suggestions. And I will say that I wrote like 10 down. So you're welcome.
Oh, thank you. Well, we probably will have time. I'm gonna have we could do, throwing out some other ones too,
Just be like,
because this is a very simple outline.
just start whispering it.
Thank you, Mal. They said they look forward to convincing all their friends to join them in being patrons. Thank you, Mal. That means a lot to me. And then Mal said, let's put this up here. All these memories that have been shared in summation of the last year or so on Fandom, they have all been a nice way for me to relive my memories of the lives. Thank you, Mal. Thank you. They are the best. Thank you. So, Paula, 3 that you
Just
we know
3.
she made this
Especially for Paula.
It was all
just
my
for
fault.
you,
I'm sorry.
Paula.
I'm sorry.
Definitely
Tend to
not
ramble. I know. I'm sorry.
Yes, I mean, my gosh.
us. The editing Aaron has to do of Paula.
Every time. I'm sorry.
All right, tone it down.
Okay.
Tone it.
Okay. So my first one is a whole group of them, because this was the first time I was on the podcast, was the Supernatural episodes, and those were just great discussions. I don't remember how many of those I was on, but they were all a lot of fun and great conversations. the next one was the Stephen King episode that Aaron and I did. That was a really fun conversation. And the most recent one was The Prestige. We had a lot of fun with that one.
Yes. Yes, and two of the panelists from that one, two of the other panelists
Yep.
from that one are on here now.
You were
and
really
shout out to
chatty
Tiff.
during that too.
I know. You couldn't shut me up.
Couldn't
I'm
shut
sorry.
you up. Yeah.
None of us could get a
Honestly,
word in
Paula.
edgewise.
I know.
But yeah, I really did like that Stephen King one. And I also thought it was funny because both Paula and I are actually very critical of Stephen King. We were the only
that was the best. That was the best part. Is we had a lot of not great things to say, but it was.
I feel like my new strategy is to
fun.
not sign up for stuff I really, really love, but sign up for stuff I really don't like, so I can just get on there and be like, "What is wrong with
I mean,
you?"
I was
Well, that's the
this
thing, though,
close to
it's-
signing up for Gilmore Girls for that very reason. I was like, let's go in there and like vent about it.
That's one of our most popular episodes too. And I'm sure people are like, I hate this host.
Well, and the funny thing is it's not like I don't like Stephen King. I just was
I know.
a little extra critical, I guess. I don't know. It was funny.
I know. It was. It was
It's
so.
a
It
debate
was.
thing.
Yeah. It was really. It was really funny. But you know, like I said, I am on all of these, so I am very lucky. So I can name. I am naming all of Christian effing Bale month, and I'm including American Psycho in that because that is included. You know,
Well, then
that
you also
was-
have to include girlfriends.
Yes, I know. I know.
You were gonna be like, "I was in
Spoiling
all of these,"
what I'm
and
gonna
then
say.
you
Sorry.
dismissed them.
All the ones I mentioned, Christian. No, seriously, one of the greatest joys in this podcast has been Christian Bale becoming our unofficial mascot because this was not planned, and that's why it's so special to me. It wasn't even anything I would have ever thought of. Never. I would have. I mean, of all the actors, I would have thought we might have ended up having that happen. I thought that I don't know why it just didn't click in my head. And it was so amazing and special that that happened. And also, that whole month, I just really grew to appreciate him as an actor on such a deeper level and as a person that it was just, that was a blessing too. And I was just like, oh, I just want to do a whole year of Christian Bale. So I'm very excited for next year when we do it again because it was just a blast. And then, of course, the cherry on top, the best part was having Christian Bale make appearances every time because Carla does that so well. That was the most entertaining thing. I would watch those clips an embarrassing number of times just to laugh because they were so good and so funny.
She spends hours writing those scripts. Like, trade secret, you guys.
Ow.
Hours. She
they were
stands in
amazing.
front of the mirror,
Oh, totally. Practicing my
practicing
Welsh
facial
accent.
expressions, even though she has a picture in
Just
front
a
of her
picture.
face. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
It's a whole
true
process.
artist.
True commitment and artistry.
It's
She's like,
definitely
"Sorry,
not
Meg,
on the fly stuff that I make up.
sorry, Meg, I'm late for recording because I'm practicing my Christian Bale.
And I definitely worked hard at that accent for sure.
Well, I mean, when you watch him, you see how accurate
Yes.
Carla's accent
It's like you
really
can't,
is.
honestly, you
It's
can't even tell.
amazing.
Thank God she has the picture.
If you turn off
Otherwise,
the
you would
video, yeah.
actually think it was him.
Yes, you would. I mean, on the podcast episodes, people don't see the picture. So I'm sure people are like, oh my gosh, how did they get Christian Bale?
He's there all the time. Wow, doesn't he have work?
I just want to say that all of my hard work, all of those many seconds that I invested in sending a photo to the Walgreens lab to print have
They were
paid
so
off.
excited just to get, an order.
What I would love to hear is the Walgreens staff. I'd love to hear their side of the story. Why
It's a headshot.
Christian Bale?
Not only why is she printing out a photo of this random man, why is she printing out twice? What did she do with the first one that she printed out a month and a half ago? Why does she suddenly need a second one? And who was the random white man?
They're like, this is weird.
I finished using the other one. I need more.
I know. I'd love to just hear sort of the background about that
more,
there. Yes.
Bill. Give me more of the handsome white man.
And I do want to say really quickly before I mention my other two here, is that our True Crimes podcast episode became this year our most popular episode. It dethroned Lucifer, it dethroned Queer as Folk. It became our most popular episode. And at first I thought it was just because it happened to happen right around the time of the Zodiac Killer being discovered. So I thought that's why. And I'm like, it'll just drop off. But no, just kept going and going and going. So I'm like, okay, I guess that means we need to cover stuff. We're not
True
even in
crimers
true
are
crime.
listening for clues.
So we
And then they're like, this is not what I thought it was.
I know. But we are in March. We are going to be talking about when fans kill and, extreme fans. So that's true crime. Meg, you're on that one.
I know. I suggested it as a joke. And there it is. I'm so excited. Aaron's like, we need show ideas. And I just start typing the most ridiculous stuff.
And she stumbled on a gem.
And
Because that one was so good.
Okay.
We'll be talking about Jodie Foster.
Well, there are other, yeah.
Oh, that's it.
That's
That's
just
it.
both. And then, even though this man will haunt me for the rest of my life now, the Ryan Murphy episodes, which none of my panel was on that, but were so much fun. Honestly, those were a blast. And, even though I discovered that Nip Tuck is one of the worst shows ever created in the history of the world, I used to love it. Now I hate it. That panel with Pasha and Eli was so much fun. And we all had that same thing happen to us where we all loved this show, that we rewatched it and all felt icky and gross from it. So it was so much fun to do that one. It was fun to do Glee, which it's Darren Chris's birthday today, by the way. That's why I'm drinking out of his mug.
He'll be so excited when he watches this.
Yes, he also is a big fan. I know that.
Little do you know, all those bots were actually Darren Chris secretly trying
Those porn
to
bots.
watch. All those poor bots are really Darren Chris. Like, I can't let people know my username.
That's not a good way to go about it, Darren.
Little tap. Hey, poor bot.
But those were just a blast. And then talking about American Crime Story with Tiff was so much fun because those were the two that were the best shows that we had covered. And, being able to talk about OJ extensively like that. And then talking about Darren Criss extensively for the second part and his amazing, amazing performance, which is a lot of fun. Speaking of true crime, everybody. And then American Horror Story, of course, was a lot of fun. And Jen, my podcast brain twin, was on that one, as well as Pasha and Eli. And of course, we're going to cover every season of American Horror Story for our Patreon subscribers. So, yeah. So, Mal had a message that was deleted, and now I'm really curious. So, and then last one that I will mention right now, because I get to mention more because it's my show, was, I did all of Christian Bale as one, all of Ryan Murphy as one.
Hard limit. No, I'm just kidding.
That doesn't apply to me. Revisiting Queer as Folk, of course, was fun because anytime I get to talk about my favorite show and Brian Kitty, no matter what certain people think of Brian Kitty, is a blast. And Paula. Yep, Paula.
You can't dampen her love, Paula.
I haven't even seen the show.
Poor Paula.
I'm sorry.
No, it's really it's. But wait, wait. I'm doing. Why am I not able to find the right
I'm over here.
She doesn't even see you anymore because of your primate.
I'm dead to her.
Only Christian exists now.
Yes. But we are going to be doing Queer as Folk doing yeah. We're going to be revisiting Queer as Folk again this June. And this time we're going to be talking about the characters. So we're going to be talking about Emmett and Ted and Michael and Justin and Brian. So and Ken and Eshel from Liberty Diner Dish are also going to be joining us on those. Carla will be there, except for on the Brian one. I'm not letting her on. She just learned this. So just kidding.
Wow.
I'm
I'm
just
being
kidding.
censored. My First Amendment rights.
America! Whatever happened to the Tyler and Brian fans?
Oh, that was amazing. And Danelle will also be on those, but I might actually, which Carla doesn't know this yet, but we have two other people that really want to be on those. So we might switch it up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see, because we have two other panelists that have said, I want to be on too. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm glad to revisit Queer as Folk again. I'm glad that those always become our favorites. Our favorites. Viewer listener favorites. Oh my gosh. I am sorry.
Interesting use of the royal we.
Wow. Okay. So now I want to know, and this is a test. I put this on here as a test to see if my panelists actually listen to the podcast other than episodes they're on.
I
So-
see.
Okay, there's
So-
only 3 episodes Carla's not on.
No, Meg,
Four.
that's such an exaggeration. There have been 7 in the last year. The year before that, I was not on 15. Of the 200 overall, okay, I have been off of 22. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh my god.
So Carla, what are
Well,
your top
see,
3 of those 22?
So you'll now understand why it's so hard for me to pick 3 episodes that I wasn't on, because I was on almost all of them. But I did narrow it down. And the thing is, like, okay, I was on the 100th episode, so I'm only sticking to the ones that came in the 100 after that, because I already whatever. Okay, so the first one that I'll mention is the Bates Motel episode. Megan,
It's a lot easier to count how many she hasn't been on than how many
Yes.
she has.
We're exaggerating just a little bit for a fact, but only like the barest little bit. But yes, Bates Motel, because I hadn't watched the show when the episode came out, but then I don't even remember why I started watching it. Oh yeah, because Aaron had mentioned that I would really like it. Yes. So I started watching it and got hooked, fell in love, was like live tweeting it and messaging Aaron about it nonstop. And then when I finished, I listened to the episode and the whole time I was like, yeah, yes. Oh my gosh, I totally believe that too. And can you believe that? Oh, I can't believe that either. So it was like such an immersive experience. It was like so much fun to be so passionate about something that I just finished watching, and then listening to people talking about it who were also super duper into it. Another one that I loved was the revisiting Buffy episode, in part because of huge amounts of FOMO, because I was supposed to be in that episode and then I didn't get to be on. But it's also like some of my favorite people. It's my dear Meg and Tiff and Sasha. So like, yeah, and I guess Aaron was on it too. The host was on it or whatever. Like, she talks some and whatever she does. No, but
Suddenly Carla has a lot more free time after in the next 200 episodes.
I know, right?
She's not gonna-
Hey, how did my name get removed out of all of those other episodes? But it was a great discussion, and it included talk about how, the legacy of Joss Whedon, considering that he's a total piece of trash, but Buffy, the show itself, still stands because it goes beyond this rando, and it's the effort and labor of yes, he's a rando to me now. He's dead to me. Um, the labor and effort of so many other wonderful people who put so much into this show, and it still means a lot to us, independent of what's his face. Um, and then the next one that I'll mention is an interview. And first of all, Christian Bale and George Clooney and Bradley Cooper and all of these people who need to be interviewed by Aaron, but you're kind of on the fence
And-
about it.
Oh, my voice cracked.
And I know that you're all kind of thinking, oh, but am I too big a name? Listen, no. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. You're going to love her. The interview that I picked out of all of them was the interview with Deanne White II. And it's because he is one of my favorite people. He is so lovely, just a wonderful human being, but he's also incredibly talented. And he's somebody who's just starting out in his journey as a writer. Well, as a published writer, because he's been writing for a decade plus. And while it's great to see interviews with established writers and established filmmakers and all of that, it is interesting to see somebody who is at the beginning of what I believe is going to be a huge career. And I really liked the interaction between you and him, and anybody who conducts interviews or who is the subject of an interview, I really think should listen to your interviews, because the way that you do them is so special. It's a very unique gift that you have to connect with people, because you really read their material and you really pay attention to the detail. It's not just like, oh, I read a summary and it looked like a good book. Can you tell me more about it? Is it a good book? I don't know. I haven't read it, but can you tell me? It shows the care that you have for entertainment in general, but also the respect you have for the people that you're interviewing. And I think that that's something that's lacking in a lot of other interviewers. So yeah.
Oh.
Don't cry, Erin.
Thank you very much for saying that. I really appreciate that, and I loved that interview too. Dean White is he's like
He is such a
oh
sweetie
my
pie.
gosh, I love him. He's so great. He's so amazing. And
You know what? Like, I feel about him like he's my little brother. And it's like this ridiculous thing because I've never met him, but I feel like so protective of him. I'm just like, everybody go out and read my little brother's book. It's amazing, because it really is a fantastic book, but he's also just a wonderful human being. And I think he deserves all the success.
yeah. And I keep meaning to tell, but I'm gonna have to tell why is making Aaron cry not on the bingo card. I don't know. That's a good question. But I'm gonna have to tell him, my mom's like, I listened to that interview and I just hope he becomes famous, but in a good way.
I like that she was very, very clear in which way.
She's like, he seems so sweet and nice. And I'm like, yes, he's the sweetest. He's the sweetest. So he really is just an absolute sweetheart. And I really loved doing that. But thank you so much, Carla, because seriously, doing interviews is one of my favorite things to do. And, it blows my mind that people who get the chance to interview people don't actually like research or consume what they've done, because why? That makes no sense to me. You're lucky enough to be sitting with them and talking with them. They're giving their time to you. And yes, they're doing it for promotion, but it's also a way to promote yourself too. So, I mean, they're giving of their time freely. So it's like, why would you not at least, I don't know, show some, respect for them? To me, it's
Well, that's
respect.
exactly it. It's the respect. Like, you take the time to really not just watch a movie passively, like if you're interviewing a filmmaker, but to really like dig into the subject and their motivations and the origin for why they decided to do this, like all of these things that don't get really a lot of real attention. And with writers, like you read the material not just in a flippant way, like, oh, I'm just going to read the first and last 30 pages and consider it done. It's like everything else is just fluff, right? You give them the respect for the work that they do, and that's wonderful. And like when I'm a famous director and I come back and you ask me questions about I have no idea, I don't know anything about directing, but I'll figure it out.
I like
I'll
how you
figure
just
it
picked
out.
a random profession.
It's not random.
No,
I'm
it's
going to be a
not.
great director.
Yeah, he mentioned it on our Denzel Washington episode. By
If
the
you
way.
have bothered to listen to that, Meg, I can already tell that was not going to be in one of your 3 picks.
No, but thank you. And yes, so if anyone would like to be a potential interview guest, Christian, Bradley, Finn, George, Kelvin.
Hobbs. Oh, wait.
Reach out to us at it's a fandomthingpod at gmail.com. Okay, so, and I almost felt like I was going to say goodnight. Yes, my mom is very cute. My mom is very adorable. She loves my interviews. Like she's a great mom to have in your corner because she's like, I want you to just have your own show where you just do interviews. That's my wish. Like, thank you. I want that to be a second one whenever I don't have time to do that now, but eventually that'll happen. So Meg, what are your 3 that you were not on?
So this was a lot easier for me because generally, barring scheduling issues, if I am familiar with what you're talking about, I'll try and be on it. And likewise, if I'm not familiar with the subject, then I don't either don't want to be spoiled or haven't listened to it because So Promising Young Woman was it's fantastic. We've talked about it a lot, I think, about what a great episode that was, so I'm not going to get too into it. Chuck, and this was so much FOMO for me because I wanted to be on Chuck so bad. That's what my top 3 are like. You're not on it, but you really wanted to be and Superstore, because again, I was supposed to be on that one, and I love that show so much. I think it might have been one of my suggestions for an episode, and scheduling conflicts happened and I couldn't be on it, but it was just so good and I love it. I'm just like pulling my own hair now. I'm not gonna be all
so cute.
I'm not gonna, this is why my hair is always up. Because otherwise I just tug on it like it's overalls or something. But yeah, they're just fun and funny, and I listen and I like talk to my car or my headset or whatever with my own opinions and be like, God, I wish I'd been there so I could be like, you're wrong, Carla.
Wow. I can't believe you singled me out.
Or you're wrong, Paula. I don't know why I'm teasing Paula so much tonight, but I feel like I tease Aaron and Carla so much.
You're just running the well.
I just have to Paula's just like,
It's okay. I can take it. I
I'm
don't
just
know.
trying to give my top 3. What the fuck? But they're fun, and I haven't listened to all of them because there are episodes where I haven't seen the show or the movie, and it's something, especially if I'm interested in watching at some point, if I have time, because I don't have a life. I'm working overtime these days. Then I don't want to get spoiled, and I also don't like to go into stuff with preconceived notions of what I'm going to be watching. So someday I'll watch Queer as Folk. I said it right.
Yes,
I
you
said it
did,
right
and yes,
this
you
time.
will. Everyone, pretty soon that's going to be a requirement for being on the podcast is that you watched Queer as Folk.
I'm grandfathered in.
Yes. Well, and I'm going to make it that you also have to be a Brian fan But
I was just gonna
Carla is
say, I
fine.
get
with it.
grandfathered in.
Suddenly, so many other panelists are going to be able to be on. No, I'm just kidding.
So, Paula, what
I
are
love
your
you.
your three?
Okay, so I'm kind of gonna echo Meg here because these are ones that I would have liked to have been on, but for whatever reasons wasn't. The first one was the fan fiction episode from way back when.
Yeah.
I was so glad that we did that you did that episode because I don't think that it's taken seriously enough by most people, and there's such a wealth of great material to read. No matter what fandom you're in, there's just some really, really talented writers. And I loved that episode and got some fanfic recs from that one too. I still have that one, so that I can click on it and listen again for all the recs that I haven't gotten to yet. Firefly was another one because I loved Firefly. I'm so sad that it was cut short, but that was a great discussion. And Scream was the last one because I love those movies, and I'm not a huge horror fan, but I love those Scream movies. And that was a lot of fun to listen to as well. And I would have loved to have been on any of those, but
Yeah, Scream was a lot of fun. I still haven't seen the new Scream because like I said, I don't feel comfortable going to movie theaters again. So
Horse
Yeah.
yell. They've been screaming for a long time, you guys.
And if you didn't hear, they are going to be making a sixth one. So because this one was so successful. So
I'm
This
gonna
is
have
gonna
to catch up
it'll
on the
just be-
franchise because I've only seen the first 3.
oh, you didn't see the fourth one?
No, I didn't even know there was a 4th one until the 5th one was coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should see the fourth one because I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on the fourth one. But yeah. So yeah, Bex missed you too, Meg, on the Superstore one. But
I was really, really sad because Carla has heard me. Someone else has to hear me like go on and gush about that show because I love it so much. And I was like, yeah, this was my suggestion. And then I don't even remember what happened, but I was like, I think I had to go to a wedding or something.
it was something. Yeah, it was something like
I was
that.
out of
yeah.
town.
Yeah. Well, I've been on all of them, so there aren't any episodes I haven't been on.
So
Which
which
one-
bed wed behead? No, I'm just kidding.
So
But Aaron, I think that for this one, it can be like, which episodes were you most checked out on? Which ones
This
were you
one,
like?
though.
You just be like,
Were you like-
Outlander, I never saw that one.
91 whiskey. I honestly think I was pretty checked out.
Wow. Okay. It's nice to see you.
Whoa.
We know what her future gonna be most checked out on one is gonna be.
Carla's gone. Love you, Carla. I'm just kidding.
Aaron's like, love you, Carla, good night. Out of studio.
The next thing I'm gonna have Walgreens print out for me is just like a screenshot of the AO3 page of 91 whiskey. And I'm gonna show up as 91 whiskey.
And
Well,
then of
that
course
is
the
our most-
viewerships because it's the number one.
It
Yeah,
is
the number
most number one. It's the number one live stream, but it is not in our top 10 for podcast episodes.
So people like
everybody's-
to watch us and their
Yes.
excitement.
Yes, they don't. Yes. But some other ones I'm going to mention are I like that we're now doing what we are into episodes because those are so popular that we're going to be doing them throughout the year. I think the next one is coming up end of March, beginning of April. Bex loves it when you pout and leave, Carla.
Don't encourage me.
She has the cutest pout in the world, but yeah, don't give her too much attention about it because she'll
Yeah.
do it a lot.
Her head's already
See?
getting
Here she
bigger
goes.
and bigger because I keep complimenting her on her Christian Bale impressions.
Pretty soon, she's gonna have to
I
get
love
a
you.
different camera.
Her ego is just, no, I'm kidding. Love you.
See, she's so pretty and aesthetic when she pouts
Aw.
like this. Like
Aw.
she's got the big eyes to the side. You look like an emoji, and I mean that in the nicest way.
I can't believe
Anyway.
you said that it looked like poop.
I didn't say you look like the poop emoji.
Um, And so I like those a lot. I'm going to mention a couple from our horror month here. So I really loved our queer horror episode with the lovely Roman and Tyler. I adore Roman and Tyler. That is one of my absolute favorite interviews, interviewing them. They are such cool people and so sweet. And, it is hard sometimes. I mean, it is hard sometimes. It will be hard if I ever have Meg and Tyler on a podcast together, which Meg
Counting
is
on it.
determined this is going to happen, because if
Yeah.
that happens, it's going to be a 10-hour podcast.
Honestly, like I said, next time you're not feeling good, DM me and Tyler and be like, hey, what are y'all both into? And then there you go. You could just be like,
on.
episode 3, what do you think? And then we would just go.
Yeah. But I love those two so much. And they are two such incredibly talented and great men. And seriously, please go watch their documentary, Scream Queen by Nightmare on Elm Street. Even if you're not a horror fan, I still think you should watch it. It's not
It's
a
so
scary
good.
documentary. So yeah, it's so good. And they are just great, great guys. So please support everything they do. And they've been very supportive of this podcast. They've come out a couple times. They were on our queer horror night for our horror trivia as well. So I just really adore both of them. So I loved that one. And then I loved all our slashers, but I'm going to give a shout out to Friday the 13th one. And the reason I'm giving a shout out to this one is because Friday the 13th is my least favorite slasher series. But doing that one gave me such an appreciation for it, because Susie loves that series so much. That's one of her favorites. And so listening to her love of it gave me a greater appreciation, which is one of the things I love so much about doing this podcast. So I'm going to go just a couple with what Mal has been saying. Meg's reactions to my comments on here are Why I Live. My all-time favorite episode was the queer horror trivia night. I think some of us know why. Yes, and that is one of my favorite personal things. Mal, I just want you to know that means more to me than I can say. Yes, Megan. Susie's hot cocoa rating, I want to give a shout out to that, because during our slashers, it started with Scream. Susie would give a hot cocoa rating to our slashers, to Ghostface, to Freddy, to Michael, and to Jason. Now, Jason, of course, is her favorite. So Jason got like this. Oh my gosh, the hot
That's
cocoa
my
Jason
favorite
got.
too.
I know. We married him, but the hot cocoa that Jason got was amazing. And Michael, she even was like going to show Michael Hocus Pocus. But go listen to those just for her cocoa ratings, even if you just look for that, because it was incredible. It started with Scream, and I was like, we have to do this on every single one, Susie. So Susie obliged and did that. So yeah. Yes, it is about my husband. Yes. Sorry. Sometimes I get distracted by little private things coming through. I apologize. Okay, so before we go on to episodes you're looking forward to, I want to just say Sasha mentioned a few things that she loves. Carla's impressions. We already gushed about that. See, once again, her ego is just kidding. Just kidding, because we love you, Carla.
But see, then she pouts, and she looks so cute when she pouts, and it's a never-ending cycle of loving on Carla.
And who do we talk to about getting that Carla emoji? Because I want one.
Yeah, who creates emojis? But yes.
I can't even do it.
But I agree. The Finn Whitrock stuff she mentioned too. I'm loving that. I almost said I'm not going to say this, but
That's my favorite too. I don't know who Finn Whitrock is, but that's been my favorite to talk about Frank Philanthrop.
Yeah, nobody. And what was really hilarious about this, okay, because she said this as a comment in our private panelist group, and she misspelled his last name. So it made it even better. So I will say he recently answered a question I asked, and he gave a very, very, very thoughtful, nice answer. I want to say that. And he liked my tweet. So he's liked a couple of my tweets. So he's close to coming on. It's really close. Any second now he's gonna be on. He's gonna be on for the Magnolia episode. I'm gonna make this happen.
Just tweet at him and say, Finn Whitrock, like this if you're going to be on my podcast as a guest. Don't like it if you're going to be on my podcast as a guest,
As a panelist.
as a panelist.
And then
I think I just
That's
answered
the
problem.
300th episode. Is suddenly Finn Whitrock.
that would be amazing. I think I'd
A
say.
surprise guest
Kidding.
and hype it all up, and it's Carla holding a Finn Whitrock picture in front of her.
Oh man.
The Walgreens people are gonna be like, "Oh no, this bitch is at it again."
There'll be a special alert for me printing out random white dudes with dark
Finn
hair.
Whitrock's gonna be like, "Why is there a missing person out for me in Florida?"
Somebody page Catherine. We have another printout of a rando.
One
Some white
single
dude with
page.
dark hair, but the same person who had that other white rando. Should we call the cops now?
That's hilarious.
Do a welfare check on the poor man.
Be like, what? Yeah, and then I'll never get him on the show.
That's how you get him on the show, because then he'll be like, "What is going on?" And they'll be like, "I don't know, some lady printed out one single glossy photo of you. Do you need to talk to her to figure?" And he's like, "Yes, I need to call and figure out what this is about." And she'd be like, "Oh, it's because I do impressions. They're amazing. They're like, you couldn't even
Super
tell.
spot on.
Super talented for this podcast." Occasionally, and then
And
like,
then
what
he'll be
podcast is
intrigued
that?
and we'll immediately email you at itsafandomthingpod@gmail.com.
Good night, guys. And that's how it's gonna happen. Carla's creepy Walgreens
That was the way it happened.
encounters.
That would be a great movie. That would be a great
Keep
movie.
keep it in mind
It
for
would
the,
be
for
like when
the
they was
when
Tad
fans
Hamilton.
kill episode.
Oh my god. You took it too dark. You took
No,
it too
Meg.
dark.
No, Meg.
Pull it back. Reel it back,
Yeah,
Meg.
yeah, that's gonna be cut from the podcast episode.
Too far. Too
And-
far.
And then Sasha's last thing was chandelier people.
Yes,
From
yes.
Donnie Darko episode.
Chandelier people.
And then it
I
was
just
brought
wish
again.
we
I have a
could do it
chandelier.
again.
I have a chandelier.
Your chandelier people.
We're
I
gonna
don't-
make a horror movie about it. So yes, so thank you, Sasha, for those, and thank you for being on so many great episodes. It's sad because Sasha was on Equilibrium and now she's not gonna be back until like August for The Sitter. And Carla will be joining that one, I think, because I've told her she's been debating about whether
Because of course she is.
she loves both women. And then I also said, the third season has Chris Messina in it, so he's super creepy. Okay, so now we're going to talk about episodes you're looking forward to that you are on. Carla, 3 of them.
Just 3 of them. It's okay. We're ready for this. I'm very excited to be on Happy Endings because I love that show so much, and I'm very eager to talk about its utter silliness and the wonderful characters, the just wacky plot lines and recurring gags, and I love the show so much, and I wish that it had gotten a proper send-off. Like it had a perfectly good conclusion considering that it was canceled just like out of nowhere, but I wish that it had gotten just that it had been treated better, I guess is the way that I want to whatever. Another one is Back to the Future because that is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's a movie that like every time that I watch it, I get transported back to the past when I was but a wee lass. And I first watched it and crushed hard on Michael J. Fox because he was so cute. And I coveted those shoes and his sneakers, because I don't know what it was about those sneakers, but they just seemed like really cool to me, and like they're just regular sneakers, but whatever. Okay, like I was a little girl. All right, like leave me alone. Um, yeah, and just the whole story is so much fun, and it was also my favorite ride at Universal Studios for the longest time. Like I would go and just ride it over and over and over again. It was just, it's a blast. And I'm looking forward to the 90s trifecta towards the end of the year, where we're going to cover 90s music, 90s movies, and VH1. I am so excited for that. Like, you don't even know.
Me too. Yep. And Bex is excited for Ted Lasso, which it filled up in about 2 seconds flat, and we have alternates already lined up too. One Day at a Time, and Love Victor, Love Simon. So yes, and I know Meg's probably excited about the Love Victor, Love Simon, right? So what are 3 that you're excited about?
Okay, I have 5 again. No, I have 6, but I have 7. Sorry. I'll stick it. Okay, I'm really excited
Wait a minute,
about.
what?
I won't say all 7 of them.
Well, if we have time, whoops, I'll let you.
And say we're making good time here.
Yeah.
911. I'm really excited about 911. This is another kind of bullying Aaron into doing a show that I just really want to talk about, and Carla really wants to talk about. The downside is I have to watch 91 Lone Star too.
Why?
91 Lone Star?
91 Lone Star. Getting my bully Carla.
Why?
Or bully Aaron.
Oh, we're just doing the first. We're just doing 911. I'm not
Yay!
watching 2 of them. We're just
Yay, good. Good. The other one I'm super duper excited about is Battlestar Galactica. Because it got put off for almost a year, and I can't wait. Like, I have an excuse to watch it again. Like, I need one. Because it's, in my opinion, that's one of the best shows ever. It's such an amazing character show. It's brilliant. And if I can, again, bully Aaron into doing stuff that I just really, really want to talk about.
just happening right now, actually. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just saying it's happening in the private chat as we record. Oh, and now to pick my third one. 91 Lone. Yeah, I misspoke. And another one is Grimm. I'm really, really excited to talk about Grimm. I think it's a super unappreciated show, and I think most people who like Supernatural or that kind of vibe would enjoy it, and I really, really like it, and I'm really, really excited to talk about it. And I will hold off until later to talk about the other ones because I have lots.
And all 3 of my panelists we just created another episode that all 3 of them are on. So
Yes! Yes!
I haven't decided when it's going to be, so
tomorrow.
No. Yeah, right.
I'm ready.
I know, right? I don't even need prep time. I got this.
It's just going to be a lot of gushing.
Yes,
Yes,
just a
Jen
lot of
Owens.
No, I'll gush too with you. Hi, Jen. I will be seeing you tomorrow.
I'm going to put
virtually.
you in Grimm.
Go ahead. I decide her schedule, so I control her schedule. I've put her on so many.
I love this.
Yep, there I put her in. I put you in there,
Okay.
Jen.
Awesome. Cool. Oh,
She and I have
yeah.
talked about it so much
Yeah.
over the years. Yeah, she's the only friend I had who watched it.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say really quickly, we don't know when we're going to put it, but it's already full. But all of us, we're going to talk about Brendan Fraser at some time, who is thankfully having a comeback right now. So it actually would be
And
appropriate
it's
to do this.
Well deserved.
So well
It's very
deserved.
I
Like,
love Brendan. And let me tell you, speaking of how cute and adorable my mom is, my mom had the biggest crush on Brendan Fraser for years.
Did
You know
it.
why? Because your mom has good taste.
I know.
I mean,
loves
excellent.
him.
Anyone who
Exquisite.
doesn't, I have to question them.
Yeah.
My 13-year-old was like, I don't get why you like Brendan Fraser so much. I'm like, that's because you are a child and you do not understand. You do not have good taste. I know who you have crushes on. And if it's not Brendan Fraser, that's it.
Yeah, no, I mean, and one of my favorites of his, sorry, we got diverged here, is Blast from the Past. I love that movie so dang much.
Oh.
He's so dang adorable. And
I
I just
love
when
that
he's
movie.
dancing
too.
and when he's so, oh my gosh, I just wanna
My
hug
favorite one of
him.
mine is Mrs. Winterbourne.
Yes, yes.
He's so hot and so like.
We're gonna
So
turn
we're
this
just doing the
into-
episode right now, basically.
basically. Well, Sasha is actually going to be on in July for fantasy ones like Legend. Yeah, we're doing Legend, we're doing Willow, we're doing The Princess Bride. Those are all full. So, yeah, but that's not that far away. It's not no, those aren't July. Those are I thought those were later than that, but or earlier than that, but maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, so she's gonna be on those ones. And Airheads was another Brendan Fraser one. Yeah, Blast from the I remember seeing Blast from the Past in the theater and loving it so much. But yeah, and then you know who else is on Doom Patrol? Because Doom Patrol got mentioned, which I need to watch it. Matt Bomer. Yeah, Jen and I love Matt Bomer. We're gonna be talking
Gonna
about
quietly add the
Matt
Mummy.
Bomer.
Oh yeah,
Matt
absolutely.
Bomer
The
was
Mummy.
not
I
in The
feel like
Mummy,
the Mummy
but-
deserves its own episode because those movies were amazing.
Well, no.
Well, the two movies that exist of the Mummy.
So Paula, what are 3 episodes? Are you looking forward to Brendan Fraser now? I don't know when it's going to be on.
Yeah,
but-
that's number 1 on the list, but I think that's a given.
It's like, oh, she's done.
Sorry, I had to cough. Didn't want to blow anybody's ears out. Um, I'm looking forward to the entertainment conspiracy theory episode that we're gonna do because I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. And another one, Community, because that's kind of like my if I have stuff to do, I have that going on in the background because I love that show so much. It's so fun. I could just start talking about that one right now. And I'm also very much looking forward to if we are doing this one, Val Kilmer. So I just recently watched the documentary on that one, and I just recently rewatched Tombstone, and
That man.
again, I could just go off right now on that episode too. So yeah, those are the 3 I'm really looking forward to.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm very. Thank you for
Yes,
being on
pop.
thank you for being on the Val Kilmer one because I'm very excited to talk about Val Kilmer, who was my absolute favorite actor for so long. And that documentary, if you haven't watched that, that's on Amazon Prime, and it is so good.
Highly
And
recommend
it's so
it.
sad to me that it's not on the short list for the Academy Awards. That it's not. I mean,
Oh, that's a travesty.
because it's such a good documentary, and he's just I just really grew to appreciate him a lot in that, and he's very humble in that, and his love for his kids is, oh my god,
That
the way
was
he
so touching.
that makes me want to cry just thinking
Right?
about it, because I mean he lives right next door to his daughter.
Yeah.
I was just gonna
And-
say, I love the bit where like they're both getting dressed because they're gonna meet up, and then they both open the door and they're right next door to each other, and you're like, oh, this is
me
the
wanna
cutest thing
cry.
I've ever seen.
Yeah. And then him and his son dressing up as superheroes, and yeah, and his son is
Yeah.
grown at this. I'm not talking a little kid, I'm talking his grown son. And they're just that relationship is just so special to watch.
Yeah, and that's that's who does the voice work, because Val Kilmer, unfortunately, because of the throat cancer he has, can't talk, and so his son does the narration, and that's I mean, it's just so touching because anytime I see fathers being good fathers, it's just so beautiful to me, and it just and he even talks about stuff he's not proud he did, I mean he had a reputation for being difficult on sets, and that is mentioned in there. And so I just really I just love that documentary. So I'm excited to talk about him. So
And all that footage in the documentary was all footage that he took because he
I
always had a
know.
camera with him.
I
So
know.
he's
Which
got
is
So good. So yeah, we're just talking about it right now again. Just, we'll just do it right now. It's
Also,
fine.
I just wanna take a little shout out to the fandom trash going on in the
I
comments
know,
with
I
Mel.
know. Especially the
Because the
Matt
Tombstone,
moment.
she's like, "Oh, that's a good Destiel ep," and I was like, and my immediate thought with Tombstone was, "I'm your Huckleberry," and then I devolved.
I was
I
looking at
love
that
the
map.
movie too, but
This
I
is what
just
this is what I was focused on. go watch the YouTube video of Matt Lower. Oh, holy mackerel!
Just go watch the whole movie. That whole
Yeah,
just
movie.
go watch.
We
Yeah,
should
just
do
Just
a
for
watch
movie.
science. Watch
Just
it
for
for the cinematography.
yes,
That's yes.
Is there anyone
Just
And
popping
then-
up saying, "Hey, it's me, Ray, I'm here"?
and
And
then
also fandom moments, the pop from Community. Yes, Jen Owens. Yes.
I've
See,
never
I
seen
didn't know what that was
Community.
from because honestly, that's one of the things I have to watch. I have so
Yeah, I've
many
never seen it
sitcoms to
either.
watch. Yeah, so I have to watch it for that. But and I do want to I want to mention with the Magic Mike thing just really quickly. There's I don't know if anyone has ever watched Lip Sync Battle. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the one with Tom
Oh,
Holland
yeah.
because everyone's. But there's one that I would say is a battle for maybe even being better than that one. Go watch the one with Channing Tatum's ex-wife. She does the version of what Channing Tatum did in Magic Mike,
She
and
does
it
Pony,
is
right?
So
amazing.
good.
You've seen that? Oh my
She
god!
does
it was so
Pony.
cool. What?
Pony, right? She does Pony, right?
Yes.
By
Yes.
Genuine?
And she, oh my God, it's amazing. And then she like pulls Channing Tatum on the stage and starts doing a lap dance. And it is, she even
So good.
painted like abs on her stomach. And it is the most amazing thing.
It
I
is
went
so
down
hot.
a rabbit hole with watching those the other day.
There are some amazing lip sync
There are,
battle
and that's,
episodes,
like,
but
Those
yeah.
are
But that
like,
one was-
if they come
Woo.
across my feed, I have to stop and watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, and that
That
one
one.
was super hot. I think what's so awesome about the Tom Holland one is how gender bending it was.
Oh,
and,
yeah, that-
and then
yeah.
then the rule now that if it comes across on the internet, you have to share it.
You have to share it. You have to watch it.
Mhm.
It's the rules.
And every time. Like I never even have to seek it out. It pops up on my timeline all the time, and I'm so blessed. And yeah, Jen is the one who I usually see that the Tom Holland one from.
The Tom Holland one is good. And then also I think Anne Hathaway's Wrecking Ball one is really good because then she
Yes.
swings in on a wrecking ball. That was amazing. And Emily Blunt is like, well, I can't win. I can't do that. That was pretty incredible.
Which
But-
is yet another reason why Anne Hathaway is
Oh, yeah.
amazing and I love her so much.
I just like watching people have fun, and that show seems like so
yes,
much
I
fun.
want to go on that show. We should battle that with the
Next
fandom thing.
episode is going to be about lip sync battle.
I
It's
was
a
just gonna
fandom
say,
thing about
now
lip
we
sync
have a new episode.
um, okay, so mine that I'm looking forward to, well, I'm on all of them, of course. So, but anyway, I am looking forward to revisiting Ryan Murphy because this man will not leave me alone, but also because they give such good discussions. So, including 911, which I have to watch.
especially.
But I'm really the one I know you're kind of surprised I'm not going to say Ratchet, but I'm really excited to talk about Ratchet because, of course, that means I get to talk about Finn and his beautiful body of work.
That got kind of
Yes.
a little
Yeah.
little Carla printing out a picture of Walgreens.
I don't know anymore. I
But
think I might have to go
anyway.
with CVS for the next one.
But anyway, so what I'm really looking forward to because I watched it last night and I thought I'd seen it before, but I guess I hadn't. We're going to be talking about The Normal Heart. And I watched that last night because Finn Whitrock is in it, and I'm doing an episode on Jen's podcast because she's been very gracious. We're doing a Finn Whitrock episode that we're recording tomorrow. I'm trying to summon the porn bots, yeah. And anyway, so we're doing, and so he's in there, not very long, but he's in there. He's really good. But the whole thing is incredible. That movie is really good. It's infuriating. It's heartbreaking to remember how, because it's about the start of the AIDS crisis and how nobody cared. Nobody cared that so many gay men were dying. And Ronald Reagan was a piece of shit. Okay. I mean, I already
So
thought
many
that,
reasons.
but this is a reminder of what a piece of shit he is. And he is part of the reason I blame him. I give him a lot of blame for it too, because just anyway, I will save a lot of that for that episode because oh, but anyway, but it's a really, really good movie. It's on HBO Max. I highly recommend it. Everybody in the cast is fantastic. Mark Ruffalo is fantastic. Matt Bomer is fantastic and gorgeous. And everybody in there, Jim Parsons, everybody in it is just really, really good. And it's one of the better Ryan Murphy vehicles. So, but probably because it wasn't something he wrote. It's based on the play. But I really, really recommend it, especially if you want to get infuriated, I guess. I don't know. But no, it's so heartbreaking to me and sad. And I want to just say some people are comparing the COVID pandemic to the AIDS pandemic when that was happening back then. And a lot of gay men who were around then said, please stop doing that because it's not the same thing. So please stop doing that. I just want to say that again. And you will definitely, if you watch that or read any research, or if you were around during that time, you know that it's not a comparison at all. They don't
I
compare.
had not heard that, honestly, and that's fucking horrific.
Yes, because
compare.
It's not the same thing at all. I mean, people were turning a blind eye, and
not just that, being like, well, you know,
and they were
who
fine
cares?
with it. They were fine with it. There's a whole, I mean, it's just, and when Ronald Reagan finally came out and actually used the word AIDS and said he was going to fund more, he actually ended up pulling funding right after that. So I'm not going to respect the dead at all because he was a horrible human being, and he was being responsible for that. Anyways, I got really upset about that, but I was really emotional last night watching that because I remember that time, and I remember, you know, watching someone die for that, having a teacher die, and it's just anyway, sorry. Bye, Sasha. Love you. Is movie shows you love but piss you off? Yes, another episode for 2024's movie.
So we're gonna just talk about Supernatural.
Yeah.
That's gonna take all year.
I mean, we did 8 episodes on it.
Yeah. Thank you, Megan, for approving the Reagan. Yes, the Reagan message there. Okay, and then I'm also looking forward to the Queer as Folk ones. I won't say much because I already mentioned that before. And then since I have more that I'll mention later, and then I'm also looking forward to Magnolia. If I can find anyone to be on there. Oh yeah, Finn Whitrock's going to be on that one. That's right. So when me and Finn talk about Magnolia in November, it's going to be amazing.
I got so excited for your birthday month, and I'm like, it's both of my kids' birthday months. Aww. So I don't have any time.
Well, but
I signed up for 2 things.
I know. But I'm excited to talk about Magnolia because that's my all-time favorite movie, and plus I'll get to talk about Paul Thomas Anderson. So bummed I haven't been able to see Licorice Pizza. Please let that be available on streaming soon for us that don't want to go to the theater. Please. Anyway, okay. So now let's go to ones that you're looking forward to that you're not going to be on. What are 3 of those, Carla?
None of them. I'm not. I'm on all of them. One's coming. I'm kidding.
I mean,
if I cared about anything else, I'd be
nothing is wrong with that statement. No untruths found.
JK, everybody. JK. Okay, so one of the ones that I'm looking forward to listening to is the discussion on Guillermo del Toro, because I think he's fascinating. I love his work. I didn't sign up for it because, again, I know nothing about directors or directing, so I'd rather just listen to it and enjoy it that way. And there better be a lengthy discussion about the absolute wonder that is Pan's Labyrinth, because that movie, just exquisite. Also, One Day at a Time, because it's a show that, like, I wanted more people to watch it just for the representation and everything that it meant. I didn't quite get into it myself, but it's one of those things where I want to hear people squee about that because it's just so important for the Latina community, for representation, and just for having a show that uh, embraces a lot of facets of just being human that I think are kind of missing in everyday discussion in Latina families, including sexuality. And Whitney Houston, because that's an artist whose music there's a lot of her music that I love, but I don't know enough about her, and I my love for her music isn't at the level at which I would be like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go on an episode and squee about it. But I want to hear other people talk about how amazing she was, uh, and everything that that made her her. So very excited for all of those. You people better not let me down. I'm kidding. No press.
I can guarantee you that Pan's Labyrinth will be discussed at length. We discussed that not too long ago. We did bring up that one, and I on another episode, and I do love that movie a lot. And I do agree, The Devil's Backbone is also incredible. So we will, and go watch Nightmare Alley. Get as furious as me. No, go watch it. He did a great job with that. So, well, yeah.
Oh,
so,
I will be watching it.
Yes. That will also be discussed.
All of those episodes are best
Now she will.
episodes. Oh my gosh.
that's
I just
the
wanna say,
reason
one,
Carla's like,
you have great taste, and two, again, no pressure.
pressure. Yes, our Whitney, it looks so much like your screen freezes when you do that. I know it doesn't, but but
See,
yeah,
we need Carla emojis,
yeah.
car emojis, not vehicles. Carla emoji. There we go, Carla emojis.
Okay.
This is one of the things that'll be cut out.
No one's even gonna know I was on this episode.
Yeah. It's just Carla and Paula.
And weird pauses with no segues in between.
So, Meg, what are 3 that you're not on that you're looking forward to?
So this is very much the same as the 3 I was on that have been recorded, where I just have a lot of FOMO because I really want to be on them, but I can't. Princess Bride. I'm really, really sad that I'm going to be traveling across the country and I won't be able to be on that episode. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. Carla and I were just talking about it, and it's like the perfect movie. And I can't wait to hear like a discussion about it because I love it so much, and I will always want to hear about it. The other one is Winona Earp. Aaron A got me to watch it, and I love it so much. And again, it's when I'm not going to be in town and won't be able to record, I can just picture myself with my recording equipment in my camper, like trying to find a signal in Yellowstone, and I feel like that's just not going to work. But it's such a good show, and I love it. And again, I'm just really excited to hear people who also love it and know much more about it than I do talk about it. And this one I had 4, but I'm going to change it because I signed up for the George Clooney one. So happy endings.
That's my happy ending.
I'm hoping it's November, so I'm really nervous about birthday parties for my kids. But happy endings is the other one. Carla has been begging me to watch this show for years. I think it was like it took forever for me to start watching it because I'm stubborn as hell. But I watched it and I just thought it was really adorable and funny and sweet. But I don't feel like I know enough about it to be able to contribute anything to that discussion. But I'm really excited to listen to it.
Yeah, and this will be my first time watching that show too. So a lot of those, like Community, that one Day at a Time. I watched a couple episodes of One Day at a Time, and I want to give it another because it was hard for me it's hard for me now to watch sitcoms where you have like an audience or you have the laugh track. So that was kind of what took me out because I liked actors and I like the characters and I like the storyline. So I need to so I'm glad that I'm going to have to watch it again and give it a bigger shot because I know that people love that show. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Happy Endings because I'm surprised I've never watched this show, honestly. So
It's
glad I
really
finally
cute.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel the same way about live studio audiences or laugh tracks or anything like that, because even when it says it's a live studio audience, it still sounds and feels like a laugh track
Yes.
to me, because so much of the laughter feels like, why are you laughing at this? Like, this is a very awkward place.
Yeah.
But one day at a time, I've seen a few episodes and I think they're really good, but I've mostly seen clips from it. And the clips I've seen have been really funny, really powerful, really heartbreaking, but they don't have the laugh track. So that makes me really sad when there is one.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Ooh.
Bex is looking forward to 10 Things I Hate About You. I'm very excited about that one. 911 and the 90s episodes. Yeah, I'm very excited about those as well. Yeah. So, Paula, what are 3 of yours?
The first one is Battlestar Galactica. I'm so sad I'm not on that episode.
Everybody else is. So
I'm so excited I'm on it.
I watched the original when I was little. I loved it. I was so excited when the new one came out, and it is one of the best shows ever. Yeah, I'm really sad I'm not on that one. But anyway, Deadwood. Deadwood's gonna be a good one. I'm really looking forward to that one. I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen enough of it. It's a great show. And Justified. Now I haven't seen Justified yet. I've been wanting to watch it, so this is my motivation to watch it before the episode comes out. Because I mean, it's Timothy Oliphant. Who doesn't love Timothy Oliphant? Yeah. So those are the top 3 I'm really looking forward to.
yes, thank you, Tanya, for suggesting those because because then I can gush about somebody else. Like, I don't do that.
Timothy Oliphant is so. Even when he was that
Yes.
skater dude in Mindy Project, and he was
Oh,
so
yeah, I know.
insufferable, I was still like,
He
you know
was
what?
I was still really into it. I was
I
like,
was
okay.
too.
Yeah, you could
I
still
was
get
kind
it.
of like, it was the one time I was like, screw Danny.
Right? I mean, he's like a 40-year-old skater dude, which. But it doesn't matter. Could
No.
still get it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
I
hot.
mean, yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I don't care that he's not a nice guy. I don't care.
he's
Just
not a nice
his
guy.
character.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm like,
I was like, what? Wait, what? We can't
Us
like him
just
now?
watching
Come
your guys'
on.
faces fall. That was amazing. But no, he's not a very nice guy in a lot of his characters that he plays. But
very
I don't
true.
care.
Like,
He's just a hot guy, and
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's not very nice.
And
but
yes,
that's
when
fine.
he was on The Mandalorian, yes.
Oh, see, I haven't
yes.
seen that. So.
I haven't seen Mandalorian yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to worry
so
you.
happy.
Paula just wants to hear me talk because all of those are episodes I'm on.
I love you, Meg.
Have you seen did you watch the movie Go? Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Timothy in that movie.
I was
holy
obsessed with
crap.
that movie.
Me too. You know what's so funny about that movie? The first time I saw that movie, I hated it, and then I saw it again, and I went, "I love this movie."
That's
and
what
I
I
was
was like.
obsessed with the soundtrack.
That's what The Jerk was like for me. The first time I watched The Jerk with Steve Martin, I was like, this is the dumbest movie I've ever seen. And then I watched it again. I was like, this is amazing. What an idiot I was.
More episode ideas? What?
Oh,
which-
I'm funneling plenty of episode ideas, Bex. Don't you worry.
A Timothy
you know how
Oliphant
long
episode?
my-
Yes, please.
which
Yeah.
one? Which one?
Timothy
Oliphant.
Oliphant episode.
God,
And we
yes.
could do a Timothy Amundsen episode. We could do a battle of the
Yes.
Timothys.
Yes. Yes.
Battle of the Timos for supremacy, but they tied because they're both amazing.
I'm writing that down. Battle of the Timos. I like that.
We're just trying to fill out interview guests for you.
Oh my gosh, if
Yes.
I interviewed both of them together,
Can you imagine?
You could maybe get Timo. He's amazing. He's
I
so
would love
sweet
to
too.
interview him. Yes. Yes. Well, you know, push him on all these, but some more that I'm looking forward to are Office Space. I'm really excited to talk about Office Space. Yes, Meg is going to be on that one because that's one of my favorite movies, and I love it so so much. And one of I recently saw there's this new shop that opened up in Colorado called Mom and Pop Shop, and it's just a store where they sell like anime things and then Funko Pops and all these things that are like hard to find. And I want to go to it at some point. And I was searching there just to see what they had, and they had one from Office Space, and it was when they went and took the fax machine out, and so it's got a little fax machine, and I'm like, I want that one.
Oh, that was the best scene.
It was. There's just how mad he gets. I remember doing that with fax machines. I'm getting so mad when it was
PC load letter.
PC low letter.
The opening scene of that is still one of my favorites because it's so me. Like he changes lanes, and then the lane he was just in
every time I'm driving
moves
on the
forward.
highway.
That's
And
the
then-
movie that I watch when I have had the worst day at work.
Yeah.
That is another movie that I saw the first time and I thought it was so stupid. Then I worked in an office. I watched it again and I was like, this is basically a documentary.
It is, man. It really is.
From the just a moment
I know.
to the two Bobs and the guy being like, that's a jump to conclusions, man. Like all of it. All of it.
And I remember this was after I'd seen that, and I went and worked at this other office, and they had Hawaiian shirt day, and I just couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, seriously. And I had a friend that worked at this. There's a diner called Gunther Tooties. That's like a 50s style diner. And I had a friend that worked there at the time when we first watched Office Space, and I was working at an office. We were roommates, and she was like, "Yeah," because she had to wear buttons all the time that were like flare as well.
If you want us to wear 15 pieces of flare, why don't you just make the minimum 15 pieces of flare? Now I'm gonna watch this tonight. I'm sorry. I love this episode. I love this show. Movie. Fuck.
And I just love when he just like doesn't care anymore about work. It's just so amazing.
And
You've been
gets
missing a lot of
rewarded
work these
for it.
days. I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
And the fact that he gets a raise and gets a is so true to the way it is. It's so funny. I love that. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to talking about Empire Records, which Meg is also on. And I know Jen is on at least one, if not a couple of these episodes, I believe. But I am really, really looking forward to that as well. And then I'm really, really excited, another birthday episode, to talk about Depeche Mode, because everybody knows, and Carla's on that one, because everybody knows that's my heart, my soul band. So I can't wait to talk about them at length and cry and talk about how amazing Dave Gahan is in concert when he looks right at you, even though he's not, but he does. Carla's like, I'm erasing myself.
I feel like we're giving previews to all of these episodes.
I know. It's true. We are.
Gotta get those views in. I was gonna say, yeah, Rex Manning Day.
Yes. That's when we're going to release it, is on Rex Manning Day, because you have to release an Empire Records episode on Rex Manning Day. Okay, so before I get into my thank yous, because then I'll just be a crying mess. Although maybe I should do thank yous and then we can just go around and mention other ones. That's what I'll do. Just to get this. So I typed these out because there was no way. And if I forget people, I really am terribly sorry, because I tried to remember everybody. So I'm going to first start with panelists and some interview guests and stuff. I know I've forgotten some people on here, so I apologize. But Erin A, of course, also deserves another thank you, because she is my producer and helps a lot with a lot of amazing things. We are still working on our new logo, so there is going to be a new logo for us that she is working on, but she does a lot of amazing, incredible things. She creates TikToks that I don't know how she does the stuff she does in Canva, but she does it, and someday I will learn. But but for now, I love just what she does with those. So thank you, Erin. To the amazing Carla, who's right there. who does all our cover art, if you don't know that. So thank you for doing that. Did our little intro thing for this. So thank you. And of course, for the Christian Bale impression that I will forever be grateful for, and for helping to come up with that. And for a million trillion other things that I can't say because then I will lose it. So I love you. Thank you so much. To Meg, I love you, Meg. I really, one thing I want to say about this podcast is that I think it brought me closer to a lot of people, and I think one of those that it really did was Meg. I want to say, because I don't think we talked as much. We hadn't been talking as much, and then you came on for the Mindy Project, and then I think, I mean, you were on before that one, but I
And you've
invite
been
you on to
trying
that
to
one.
get rid of me since.
And you just won't listen. You won't take a hint.
Now you just won't go
And now
away.
here's the time when I'm going to say, Meg, goodbye.
Stop suggesting episodes. We're done. You're done.
No, but seriously, I've appreciated that because feel like our friendship has grown. So thank you so much.
I love you so
And
much.
I love you too. And thank you for lots of stuff that I won't get into because then I'll cry, of course. To Paula, I feel the same. I feel the same way. Like, I have gotten to know you so much through doing this. Really, I have. And thank you also for being my right hand especially during horror trivia. But also our first trivia. Just lots of things. Really, I appreciate it because I could not have done that without you. That was a huge undertaking. That is not going to be as long next year, by the way. No, flip it away. But thank you so much for that and for helping with that. And to the amazing Tiff, I love you so much. Susie, love you, love you. I'm just going to go through these quickly because I'm not going to make it. So, Sasha, who was on here before, Sasha and I have had a lot of great conversations off of here too. So, yeah. To Judy, to Tanya, who I wish I was as smart as you, Tanya. To Megan, if you're still watching, hi Megan, love you. And I'm so happy that you've been on so many this month. You're on like almost every week at least. You're on one for February. So that's amazing. I can't wait to discuss Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with you because I'm rewatching that right now. And it's still funny. It's still great. But let me tell you, some of the stuff in there. Oh my gosh, the homophobia in that show. Holy moly. Oh my gosh. And the sexism.
If I were on that, I would only talk about the one scene where he cries about his dad at this
Yeah.
point. Like, that'd be my one contribution.
So. Yeah. Well, he's really good in that scene. Yes. Thank you, Megan, for saying that. Thank you so much. And then, sorry, now I've lost my place. Sarah, my amazing podcast brain twin Jen, who's watching right now. I am so grateful that you came into my life. Yeah, Meg. Yeah. I know it's because of you, but still, thank you into my life. And just because if I'm not saying a lot about you, what I'm going through, it's just because I'm trying to. So it doesn't mean I don't love you as much as it because I love all of you. So, to the beautiful Jackie, who is so just special, just really special, and has the best heart. I love you, Jackie, and you are not boring to follow on social media, so stop saying you are. To Jill, and sending you love because I know your recent loss, so sending you love. To Rebecca, to the amazing Pasha and Eli, who are also heroes of mine. The work they do with Parasol Patrol is absolutely incredible. The work they do to help people and to shield kids against hate is really amazing. And they are just two incredible human beings. And I had never met them actually in real life because even though they're here in Denver, until I went to Drag Queen Bingo, this was not my birthday time, but before that. And they came out there, and that was probably we had done it as a saying goodbye to Judy, who was leaving Colorado, and just being able to meet them in real life was really awesome because I love them so much. They're just two of my heroes. To Bex. Hi, Bex. Love you, Bex. Thank you for becoming one of our panelists and also for your amazing podcast as well. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed that. I loved um, excuse me, sorry. Oh, I loved when we talked about us. I thought that was a great, great conversation. And I'm so glad that Kimberly is coming back and she's going to be on our Whitney Houston episode. And I'm really glad to have her back too, because I love Kim. I think she's great and awesome. And I loved hearing her thoughts as well. And I love adding new amazing women to here. To Angela, who I love you, Angela. I really love you. To Danelle, who's also going to be, I don't know if I mentioned she's on the Queer as Folk ones as well. To the amazing Michelle, who hosts Liberty Diner Dish and who has me on there to take deep dives into Brian Kinney for every season. And those have been so much fun. And we always get new listeners from that. So a big thank you to her for that, because we've gotten a lot of new listeners because of being on there. So I want to just thank you for that. And to her amazing co-host, Ken. I love Ken. And I'm glad that Ken's going to be on our Queer as Folk episodes this summer as well, because I adore him, even though sometimes he's wrong about Brian, but I still love him. He's entitled to his wrong opinion. So is Carla. To Melissa, to Lauren and Rachel from the Sort of Brilliant podcast, who are also going to be on when we talk about Sunny in Philadelphia, along with Judy's going to be on that one as well. So I'm excited to talk about that show. To amazing Jessie from Sudden But Inevitable. I'm not sure if that's changed its name yet. I just will keep calling it that. And I can't remember what
it's Sudden But Inevitable.
Okay, thank you. But yes, to Jessie, I said Ken, to Josh Rubin and Lauren Stick, just because they are two amazing human beings. We already did a whole thing for them. Go watch Werewolves Within is on Showtime right now. So if you haven't watched Werewolves Within, go watch it. Sam Richardson is amazing in that. And go listen to our interview with Josh Rubin. That was so much fun because he's such a great guy. So I really enjoyed that. And then you can listen to our Donnie Darko episode, and both Josh and Lauren are on there, and they're great. And they're our power couple. So they're our Hollywood power couple. To Dee and White, who we already gushed about you earlier. Love you. You're amazing. Tyler and Roman already gushed about you. So to Neil Fraser, who designed our amazing horror trivia poster and also is just a really cool guy and a very talented poster artist and just an artist in general. To MJ, to Midian, who I also was honored to interview, and people have discovered the show through that interview too, people in the industry. And so I just really appreciate her being on. Patricia, to Brooke, who designed our first logo, to Jude, who was another person I interviewed who did a great novel and is just a really cool human being, to Frederick, to Cameron, who was on one of our, both Frederick and Cameron were on one of our horror nights. And then to our patrons, our Patreon supporters, to Bree, who Bree found our show through Liberty Diner Dish. She became a Patreon supporter right away, like the second she found, and that's just incredible to me. So thank you. To Carly, to Jackie, to Mal, to Robin, who, spoiler, that's my mom. To Sasha and to Tiffany. Thank you so much. And then some other quick thank yous to Panda, who comes on a lot of our live streams. Thank you so much. And you also bought some coffees a while back because we're on Buy Me a Coffee. So thank you so much. to some of our horror trivia contestants. Jesse was one of them too. Chrissy, Lisa, Paul, who won, Kara, Emerald, who came in third. Chrissy and Lisa were second, and Joanna, who is Mrs. Sunbet. So thank you. And then Emma Jane, who won our first trivia event and then was on our other one. I'm losing my voice. So I'm sorry if I forgot any of you. I held it together. Hey, I held it together. It's amazing. And if I didn't go on a long thing about you, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It means I'm just me. So anyway. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. So
Hey,
I
you've
did.
been feeling sick, so I don't think anyone blames you. Keep talking, Aaron.
So I'm going to take a break from talking for a minute, and I'm going to, so everybody can go around and you can mention a couple more that you're looking forward to. That's kind of how we'll round it out. Or if you want any that you love to, you could do that as well, Carla.
There are always things that I wanted to say that I didn't. But
Not
I will
me.
keep it short. In looking at the ones that and again, like I said, I only looked for the ones in the last 100 episodes. But among them, Donnie Darko, because that was one of the oh, I love that discussion so much. And I know it's one of the longer episodes, but I think it's so worth listening to because that movie just, you can't discuss it briefly. It just has so many layers that I think it would do it a huge disservice to, kind of trim things. It's just, there's so much going on in it. The Moonlight episode, I really loved that one too. That was that movie is so beautiful and heartbreaking and lovely, and oh my god, it's definitely go watch the movie, listen to the episode, not just because I'm on it, but it's just really good. An episode that I wasn't on that I enjoyed very much listening to was the episode on conventions. It just brought me back to when I've gone to conventions and how much fun they've been. In the segment in which you were talking to Lauren, she mentioned the Vancouver Con and how a bunch of us who had been on a chat group met up there. And it was, that was one of the best trips of my entire life, and just one of the best cons that I've been to, not because of the con itself, which was nice, whatever, but spending all that time with my friends and geeking out and taking 500,000 photos with Misha Collins, which was hilarious because they were like, "Oh God, it's these people again."
Oh god, I was gonna say it was nothing like Vegas when we literally had a whole photo
Vegas,
shoot session at the end.
Yeah, yes. Oh, that's a whole story. Community, I'm very much looking forward to because it's going to be such a blast. I love that show. Oh God, just there's so many that are so good that I feel like I've signed up for all of the ones that I want to be on. Probably. But the ones that I didn't, it's not because not necessarily because it's not a topic that I'm into, but sometimes it's just because I like to sit back and listen to what other people have to say. And seeing as how I'm on like 95% of the episodes, it's kind of rare that I do that. Not quite, everybody. I'm on only like 40% of the episodes. Like, let's chill.
50%.
Gonna say, basically,
Well, this
Carla's
year.
the co-host of 2 podcasts.
And I like that I
And
get to do the
edits
editing
none.
on none.
I know, man. Come on.
This is my secret scam. But I love being on the podcast. I love listening to it even when I'm not on. You have amassed a great group of panelists, and part of the reason that we keep coming back is not just that we love to hear ourselves talk, but also that you make it a fun place for us to talk. And we can just share our thoughts and feelings and everything and not feel judged for having these thoughts and feelings. The panelists are respectful of each other. And I think, thanks, Meg. And I think that that's partly tone at the top, because as the host, you said a tone of fun, inclusivity, but also of respect, which I think is a tribute to your wonderfulness and uniqueness, and also to the fact that you have great taste in friends.
I love that though. I'm just gonna piggyback on before Erin can get weepy. Try and make her a little more weepy.
No, I have to do this.
Erin, you strike the perfect balance between fun and serious. Like, we can be laughing and having a really good time and making pervy jokes and stuff like that 1 minute, and then the next minute, and it doesn't feel like a crazy tone shift. It feels very natural to talk about very serious topics and our own personal experiences. And you do such a great job of making us as panelists feel comfortable and feel supported and safe when we're sharing our more personal stuff that we talk about. And it's so much fun to be on it. And it doesn't hurt that I don't have to edit these.
Yeah. Night, Jen.
Bye,
I love
Jen.
you. I'll see you tomorrow to gush about Finn. That's how I'm going to get him on the show. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to say, now I'm going to go on to the stuff that I didn't talk about before.
But thank you very much, both Meg and Carla. Thank you.
And now it's Meg's rundown of 12 episodes.
374 episodes. You only done 200. Little do you know, I found out the secret episodes. Let me just talk about all the behind the scenes stuff. First off, the only behind the scenes thing I'm going to share is when you put on the schedule Moonlight, and then you had to put on there, and I feel like it was almost because of me that you had to put on there that Moonlight. You're talking about the movie, the amazing movie, and not the 2006 vampire TV show. And I was like, yeah, I want to be on that vampire show. And then you're like, it's the movie, not the show. And I'm like, oh shit.
That's why I put it on there, because I had a feeling
looking like an asshole. I just wanted to talk about Alex Laughlin looking like a hot vampire.
That is exactly why I put that on there.
Because of me. I knew it was because of me. I feel like no one else would make that mistake. I feel like it was so 100% like, Meg, this is not about hot vampire detectives or private investigators. Although now I'm going to bully you into doing an no, I'm just kidding. Other episodes that I was on, or other episodes that I just really, really enjoyed that we didn't talk about. Love Doctor Who. I just love talking about Doctor Who, and my husband was on. And if you guys think I'm a big nerd about stuff that I love, I have nothing on that man. He is like, that episode could have been about 17 hours long if you hadn't kept us in check. Between Marty and I, forever, because we both love it so much. Our basement, again, Doctor Who themed. I just realized these all have my husband in them. Shit. Okay. Big Mouth was another really big favorite. I think it was really great to talk about. It's one of the few animated TV shows that I like, and has helped me kind of so stupidly get in the mindset of my kid, because there's so much stuff that teens and middle school kids go through in that show. She can't watch it because it's completely inappropriate for her. But sitting and talking with you, and I was really excited to kind of introduce you to that show, Erin, because I know it's not something that you ever were going to watch.
And I loved it.
And it's so good. Like, it's so good, animated or not. But again, to share that to talk, and I think that was Marty's first time ever on the show. And then the Psych episode, because I just love Psych. Like, I love that show so much. I could talk about Sean and Gus. Like, that's all I need to talk about. Like, talk about a healthy but awful male friendship. I love it so much. And again, Marty was on there, Carla was on there. Pretty sure Tiff was on there too. It was just like some of my favorite people all together. And future episodes I'm really excited about that I didn't mention was How I Met Your Mother, because I just need to scream into the void. And I think my headphones died because I can't hear you talk.
Can't hear us?
Oh, I can hear you. Okay. Yeah. So How I Met Your Mother, because I need to yell. I started watching How I Met Your Father because I'm a masochist. 6 Feet Under, because I want the two of them next to each other so I could be like, this is how you end a series, and this is how you 100% do not end a series. And if we could talk about Supernatural again at the end of it, I could be like, this is even worse. Like, just bing bang boom. 6 Foot Under had the best ending of. Anyway, we're gonna talk
about Michael C. Hall again.
And we can talk about Michael C. Hall. It's just such a good show, and I haven't seen it in so long. I'm so excited to rewatch it to talk about it again.
Me too.
And Deadwood, super pumped to talk about Deadwood. That was my favorite show when it was out, and I'm just yay me. And then the other one I wish I was on was Gilmore Girls, because I kind of wanted to rag on it a little bit. As much as I love it. It's one of those shows that I adored it when it came out, and I still love it because of my nostalgia. But watching it now, it's like, oh my God.
It's okay. Aaron ragged on it enough for all of us.
I feel bad for Aaron A.
I could have done it lovingly, though. I could have been like, I love it, but I love Emily Gilmore, but
I feel like it averaged out, so it's fine.
I know, because I see how
Carla's like,
that
you
one
are
is,
not needed. Don't worry about it, Meg.
So, Paula, you can mention some more too.
I really enjoyed the What We Were Into episode, and so I'm looking forward to more of those. Those are a lot of fun to do. And the interviews. I love the interviews. So the ones that you've already done, the ones that are coming up, really looking forward to those. I really enjoyed doing the gaming episode, because that's kind of a huge thing that I do a lot. So that was a really fun conversation. And some of the lost my train of thought. Oh, some of the other ones that are coming up, like Princess Bride. I can't wait for that one. That one's going to be so fun. I love that movie so much. I'm so glad I'm on that one. And the teen movies, the teen movies, 10 Things I Hate About You, all of those are going to be so much fun to listen to. Labyrinth, Legends, those are going to be great. So looking forward to a lot of episodes coming up this year.
Awesome. Yeah, and that gaming episode was a lot of fun, and it was also fun for Paula and I to both feel really old when Angela didn't know about floppy
Oh,
disks.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I remember playing Dune and how scary it was when it first came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, it's so cool that you're going past 200 episodes and there are still so many topics.
I know. You should see my list of stuff, and people keep adding to it. That's why sometimes
Not me.
No,
not at all.
People
never.
Pointed
people.
the eyes, Meg.
Yeah, some people keep adding stuff.
People.
I mean, I'm looking forward to pretty much everything. I don't, not like
especially
stuff I'm not.
BSG.
That one I'm kind of like. No, I'm looking forward to it. It's just so funny because that's the most passionate one as far as people on it. I'm looking forward to eventually getting my hair cut because my hair is driving me nuts, but that's nothing to do with this.
But you can pull on it like this.
Ouch. Okay.
No, you pull down. You don't want to hurt yourself.
Sorry.
It's like a reset.
You know what I'm into. I'm just sorry. I want to give a speaking of that, I do want to give a shout out to our BDSM episode. I really, really liked doing that one a lot. And I thought it was really a great conversation. And I also really loved our women in eroticism episode as well. That was fun. And what I appreciate about those conversations is it's so rare, sadly, that and we talked about that also on our insecure episode, how rare it is that women and their sexuality is ever treated as something that should be honored and treated that honored that women are entitled to want to have pleasure, to want to find pleasure, to want to watch pleasure, to want to stuff like that, and that it's often treated as something that's taboo and people don't talk about. And I was really excited to be able to delve into that with both of those. So yeah, I really, that was we're talking about both. We're talking about both, Mel. We're talking about ones we're looking forward to and to ones that we've already done, because I'm just adding things in there. Erin wants to do the hair pulling and not having her hair pulled. That's right, Bex. except for Michael C. Hall. I've already admitted that Michael C. Hall can dominate me.
Now, I am super excited for 4-letter word. Like, I'm really excited to get down and talk about it. I think I'm excited to hear about what Erin's thoughts are, because it has a topic that she's interested in and a topic that she's not very interested in mashed together. I'm excited to
I'm
see.
not very interested in.
Well, it's a Destiel fic.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because I was but because Mal is an amazing supporter, that's why I chose that one over the Kinks, which the Kinks is also Destiel, but it's one of my favorites because it deals with BDSM so well. But I loved doing those, and I'm hoping in the future we can do some more adult. I mean, sometime I do want to cover the Magic Mike movies.
Yes.
For science.
They're actually good movies, though. That's what's
the
amazing.
Second one is good. I think the first one is kind of boring, but I think the second one is great because the second one leaned into the cheesiness of it.
I think you should sign me up for it.
Yeah, me too.
Because as
2027,
a very science-minded person,
I like how
Carla's
Carla's like this. Where honestly, Carla has to go through the list and delete her name off of panels because it's just auto-filled. At this point, Carla's like, I know nothing about this.
But so I'm hoping we can do more. Look, we're already over 2 hours, so we're about to wrap up here. It's okay. When I edit this, that's going to be way below 2 hours.
I'm gonna cut that whole Walgreens part out. Yeah. Just cut all of Meg out. It'll be 47 minutes. The segues will be terrible.
I'm looking forward to, as far as like ones I'm looking forward to, I feel like there were other ones I was going to mention that I loved, but I love a lot of most everything we have done. I am looking forward to talking about Dazed and Confused, and Jen is going to be on that one. I believe Megan is on that one too. Mm-hmm. And I'm really looking, not Megan. You're not. Yeah.
I'm looking at the schedule. I'm saying, yes, Megan's on it.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm really looking forward to that one because that movie holds a very special place in my heart. It honestly does. I know it sounds weird with a movie about stoners in the 70s, but to me, even though it's in the 70s, to me, it's very reminiscent of like my junior and senior year in high school. So it holds a special place because
the best thing about high school girls, I get older,
creepy as hell, but
it's so creepy. But it's
I'm not even
McConaughey, so people just
I don't like Matthew McConaughey.
I said
by
people.
The way. He creeps me out. So that was the perfect role for him. Yeah. Thank you, Carla, for agreeing with our right take on Matthew McConaughey.
Yes. Ew. Matthew McConaughey, no thanks. He can keep his weird car commercials too.
Oh yeah, my God, those are so bad.
Never has an advertising campaign worked so effectively on me to completely shut down the product in my mind.
Oh, I will tell you, there's a furniture store
bites.
called Bob's Discount Furniture who recently used Rob Snyder, and I was like, I'm buying furniture for my whole main floor. Thank you so much for letting me know to not go to you. But never has a man made so much money off of one word as Matthew McConaughey.
That's right.
That only means okay, which I feel like is the umbrella that Matthew McConaughey generally falls under. Is all right.
You know what?
All right.
You know what movie?
All right.
You know what movie I actually could stand him in? Is this? There's a couple actually, but is this movie
How to Lose a
called?
Guy in 10 Days.
No, God, I hate that movie so damn much.
Fool's Gold.
I didn't see that one.
Any Kate Hudson vehicle.
Meg. No, it was directed by the late great Bill. Do you know what I'm talking about? Bill
Carla told me to hide
Paxton.
in my shirt. So
Frailty.
No, I told her to shirt herself.
Frailty, which is a great, really creepy as fuck movie. And it's so good. And it was directed by the late great Bill Paxton. And I own that one on DVD. I highly recommend that if you're into horror, especially if you're into psychological horror and you haven't seen it. The twist at the end is, oh my God, you question everything you believed and thought before that. So
is it like
yes.
Memento?
Sort of, yeah, but not really.
No, I said, is it like Memento?
Oh,
Because
no,
Memento's
not
twist
really.
at the end
Meg,
was pretty
Meg.
amazing. Also,
Not really.
shirt
Like,
myself.
No, Meg.
movie.
No,
myself.
oh yes, but also like I thought you were giving something away. And I was like, no, Meg,
No,
no.
I'm saying the twist at the end of Memento was
Okay,
amazing.
now shirt yourself.
Who doesn't know there's a twist? The movie is 20 years old. Watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Don't
go
listen
watch
to me.
Frailty too. Go watch Frailty because really, Frailty is so creepy and so dang good. Not even going to tell you what Frailty is about. I know it's old, but I don't care because you should not be spoiled for that movie. It's I get chills just thinking about that movie.
That doesn't work
I'm
with the
looking
sweater, you
forward
guys.
to all the episodes that Meg is not on. Just kidding. I'm looking forward to Back to the Future because
Meg's not on it.
because Back to the Future is the movie that got me into movies and made me fall in love with movies, and made me love Michael J. Fox even more. Family Ties was really what first made me love Michael J. Fox, and I used to have the Teen Beat cutouts on my wall of Michael J. Fox.
I love Michael J. Fox, and also
Yes.
all of us. This is the Back to the Future crew right here.
That's true. Oh man.
Paula's gonna make us go way over
I'm sorry.
with her effusiveness.
I'm so sorry.
And then I'll just say I am looking forward to the 90s ones as well a lot. I'm really, once again, I'm excited to sit down with Finn Whitrock and talk about Magnolia. I just figure if I keep putting this out there, it'll happen. We can talk about frogs falling from the sky for a while. We can talk about the amazing performances. Tom Cruise is problematic. I think he is, but his scene with his dad when he's at his dad's bedside is hands down one of the best scenes I've ever seen in a movie. So I'm very excited to talk about that with you, Finn. It's gonna be amazing. This is gonna happen. I'm willing it in. I'm putting it out there enough that it'll happen. So when you watch this, you know.
No, he's so mad at you still for cuddling up to Bradley Cooper at the Oscars and ignoring him. George Clooney's in the back of the theater sobbing.
Everybody's like, what the hell are you talking?
We already talked about how you have neglected your other Hollywood husbands for Bradley Cooper.
For Bradley.
For Bradley. Someone named
Who
Bradley.
doesn't even have black hair. Who has never had black hair.
Never had black hair.
It's true. Oh my gosh.
Not
I'm
once.
so sorry.
Not even during his emo phase.
Well, hey, if someone touches the side of your face and says you're the most beautiful woman in the world, you are going to drop everybody else for it.
Even if he has the wrong hair.
Yes.
Hair can be fixed. You can dye it. It can be fixed.
That is true.
Right?
Wigs exist.
Yeah. So,
Exactly.
Bradley, before you take me to the Oscars, please tie your hair.
Your hair. And let me
She
talk
has an
to my
image to
other
maintain,
men.
after all.
Yes.
You do need to watch Oh Brother We're Out, though.
Yes.
That is one of the best movies
is.
ever. That's just a fantastic movie, and I will fight. Like, I'm already ready to fight because Mal says she hasn't watched it, and I'm just like, let me pull my hair and fight.
I haven't seen it either. Sorry.
Paula!
I feel like I'm doing a lot of
Hey,
apologizing this
Paula.
episode.
You know how long I've wanted to say, hey, Paula? To you?
You don't have to apologize, Paula. I just weirdly chose you to tease a little bit tonight, and I love you. That's why.
I love you too.
But we'll go ahead and we'll
Shut
wrap
up,
up there.
you're a
And just
baby.
a side note, if Bradley Cooper watches this, don't worry. I know reality from not reality. Don't worry. But again, if you need a date to the Oscars, hit me up.
She knows that Christian Bale has not actually been on.
Yes, I know that too. I don't know that he hasn't listened, but I know that he hasn't been on. Just like I don't know that all these
Not
people.
yet.
That's true. He will be on. He will. I've dreamboarded him, so he's gonna be on. The whole world will know when this happens. So, but thank you, everybody. Again, we'll go out. We'll go out. We'll go out.
Where are we going? It's cold out and I don't have a jacket.
We're going
Okay,
to the
first
Oscars
off,
because the
it's
Oscars are
not
now
cold
for
out.
fans.
It's not cold there.
You're not cold,
True.
Carla.
That's true.
And I'm drinking.
It's in the low
This-
70s.
Oh my god.
That's shorts weather. What are you talking about?
It is. I'm gonna tell you right now. It
Yeah,
is
I'm looking up
ooh,
what the
a
temperature-
balmy 17 degrees right now,
Let's see what
Celsius,
it is
right?
here.
and
It
that's
is-
warmer than it was earlier today.
This is all getting cut. You turned your heat off today, Mal? It's 33 degrees here.
Nice, jealous.
Yeah, it's going to get down to 20s tonight. It was negative.
Yeah, it was in the
It's
negatives
been
a couple days ago.
Okay, this is. We're not talking about weather. everybody.
Welcome to the weather talk.
Let's bring it
Yes.
back around
Just tuned
with
in.
Mal mentioning that Christian has been eating marshmallows off screen this whole time, which is true.
Yes, he's back to his marshmallow habit.
Back to the marshmallows.
Dang, man, those marshmallows.
I just can't say no.
I mean, I could talk more about more episodes that I like.
That's okay.
Like I could just keep going and going. And
I mean, as much
going.
as I
Close
love
out.
as much as I
to
love
close
that,
out, Megan
the
has
weather.
47 more episodes. It's a weather
I
thing.
just
That
like
would
to
be
get
the most
cold weather
boring-
people angry about my weather. It's just a fun hobby.
It's a weather thing would be the most boring. I don't know.
I started trying to record our Bedwood Behead episodes in Zoom, like with Carla and I sitting next to a fire and like one of the immersive Zooms, but Carla could never see me.
It's like I'm just sitting next to a chair. Anyway,
Anyway,
so let's
okay,
close
so we're
out.
gonna go ahead and we're gonna close out. Although, if you want to talk about it's an environment thing, Finn, I know that's a big thing for you. So come on, we can talk about the environment.
You
That's
see a
strategic
fish?
thing for everyone. What?
I got fish today.
Anyway.
We're gonna close out.
It's a fish thing.
We're gonna close out. So, Carla, where can they find you?
Well, Erin, thank you for asking. I will tell you where they can find me if they so desire. Megan and I co-host a show called Bedwetter Behead Podcast. It is available on all podcast platforms. We also can be found on Twitter at Bedwetter Behead pod, on Instagram at bed.wet.behead.pod, on Facebook or Murder, or whatever they're calling themselves these days, as they evade. I don't know what they're evading, but they probably are. Just look for Bedwater Behead Podcast. You can also find me on Instagram or Twitter at Carlatemis, or also my website has my photography, and that's carlatemis.com. That's CARLATEMIS. And I recently wrote an article for the Insider about being a parent with a kid and they're home and you're home and you're like, ew, why is this my life? So just look for Carlatemis, where they have the little search bar on the Insider, and it'll be there.
Awesome. Yay.
Yay, my life.
And pretty soon I will be on there doing an episode about Christian Bale. Seriously.
That is
Very-
an actual thing that is going to happen.
Yes.
We are
Yes.
working on a thing for that.
Okay.
So that
Can't wait.
we are we actually have production meetings where we talk about stuff and very rarely follow through.
But this you will follow through on. Because I've done so much for you. You will do this, Christian.
We're giving you amazing content, Aaron.
Yes. So, Meg, where can they find you?
Other than all of the places of the bed, the wed, and the behead did. You can find me on the Twitter at Wisconsinac, which is WISCONSENNACH. If you want more of this in text form.
I just think it's funny.
I'm easier to take
You're easy.
in text form.
So, Paula. Hey, Paula. Where can they find you?
Oh, you can
Calm
find
down,
me-
Paula.
I'm sorry. Serious now. Serious. It's my sandbox on Instagram and Twitter. Not that I post a whole lot right now, but you can find me there.
Awesome. Well, I'm like, so when you're done, keep going, Paula.
We've conditioned Aaron, Carla, to listen to us talk for so long.
This is Erin.
Paula's like, here's where you can find me.
That's it. That's all I got.
Shh, Paula.
From now on, I'm gonna go. Hey, Paula. Where can they find you? That's gonna be my new way.
Hey, I get my own theme song. I like
Yes.
this.
This is Erin. You could follow me on Twitter at @AprilBeauty. The E and the A and the B are capitalized. Hopefully that was understandable. Be sure to like the show on Facebook at facebook.com/It's a Fandom Thing Pod. On Twitter at Fandom Thing Pod. No, it's in that one. On Instagram at It's a Fandom Thing Pod. On TikTok at It's a Fandom Thing Pod. If you would like to be a potential interview guest, Bradley, Finn, George, Christian, remember, I will bump everybody for you, including Bradley and George. Just kidding. You all can come on together. Although I probably
Would
would.
that be the most amazing panel?
Oh my gosh. I would faint.
Aaron would be deceased. Carla would have to host.
You know what's so funny is I
As
think
Christian.
Ooh, interviewing
had-
Christian as Christian. I like it.
yes.
Very meta.
Yes, I think if I had a panel with Christian and George and Finn and Bradley, I think both Finn and I would be geeking out the whole time. Because I swear, every time I see a picture of him when he's at an event with all these people, he looks like a little kid who's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here!" It's adorable. It's the most adorable thing. So, see, Finn, you can come geek out about Magnolia. Remember. Unless Christian wants to be on it, then I'm sorry. Just kidding. You both can be on. Anyway, so if you would like to be a potential interview guest on the show, go listen to my interviews. They are, as everybody said, they're good. I don't not to toot my horn too much, but I'm pretty proud of the way I interview. So go listen to those and then reach out to us at itsafandomthingpod@gmail.com. Sorry. And for people that are watching the live stream, because it will have already aired for the podcast, so I'll be cutting this part, but we recorded our Prince episode last night, and me just say, made me miss Prince even more. So that one is being released on Wednesday, and it's a really good one. And I just really loved doing that, and loved that we're talking about music so much this month. Oh my gosh! But next week. I'm sorry. We are continuing our celebration of Black History Month with a look at Janet Jackson, which Carla is going to be on that one, as well as Megan. Megan is on basically every episode. Um, she's become Carla this month. And then we're also talking about
Except
Whitney Houston.
Carla's also Carla.
I know, it's going to be double Carla. That sounds like a really...
Carla squared.
Never mind. I'm not going to say.
Double Carla.
Anyway, then we're also going to be talking about Whitney Houston, and on that we have an amazing full panel. I allowed a fourth one on this one. We are Bex and Kimberly, the hosts of Big Reputation Pod, are going to be on there. We also are having Ishelle, the host of Liberty Diner Dish, is on, and Megan. So it'll be a great double rainbow guy. Remember the double rainbow guy? Anyway. So that will be incredible. I'm really excited about those two episodes. And then the week after that, we do have an author interview. And then we're also going to have, we're going to close out the month with, as I said, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I wanted to do a Kelvin Harrison episode, but not a single person signed up. So I scratched it. I'm very disappointed in all of my panelists. We're not going to talk about Kelvin Harrison Jr. with me. But I will add it. Meg's left. Carla left. Whoa.
It's our
This
shame driving us
shame
away.
is too great.
So, but if people want to be on and talk about this amazing actor who should already have a couple of Oscars to his name, you can tell me and I will add it back on, but it went off the schedule. So anyway, but I'm looking forward to that. We've got some great author interviews coming up. We've got some great episodes like the conspiracy theory one, the when fans kill. I feel so tabloidy when I'm saying that. And some other great ones as
The
well.
funny
So
thing is we've already done a toxic fan
I know.
episode,
I know.
and this is like one step further.
I
I
was going
know.
to say, but this is the evolution, okay, Meg? This is the
Yes.
next step.
This is character development.
Yes, it is. Yes. So, but anyways, come on. And then I didn't really mention it too much, but we are going to talk about Ratchet in April. So get ready for some fit. Oh, I did mention it because I was like, we get to talk about his body of work. Anyway, I'm going to end this now because this has gone off the rails.
So, you have talked about Ratchet.
We've been trying to close out for 20 minutes.
This is beginning to sound like a boobs app, I'm not gonna lie. Where we just keep trying to close out and it never ends.
It happens all the time. What does what mean? What is the double rainbow? That's right. God, I'm sorry.
What does it mean?
Okay, so anyway, so until next time, remember it's a fandom thing. Black Lives Matter and stop Asian hate. And thank you so much to everybody who watched this live as well. Thank you, Bex. Thank you, Mal. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Sasha. Oh, I don't think I'm forgetting anyone, but
Did
thank
Susie
you.
pop in? Or no?
Who?
Nope, Sasha, not Susie.
No, but Susie was mentioned. But thank you
Sure
so
enough.
much, everybody. And hopefully my cold will be gone. And keep an ear out for our episodes and keep an ear out for my Streamy Bubble episode where we talk about Finn for 10 hours. Good night, everybody.